Assalamualaikum and hello to our lecturer, Dr. Abdul Hadi and Dr. Halim. My name is Nur Natasha binti Muhammad Khir and I will be the first presenter for our group assignment. This assignment is called Designing Our Rich Life, and the main purpose is to reflect on our financial challenges, habits and future goals as students and young adults. As a student living in a rented house, a big portion of my monthly allowance goes straight to paying rent. Sometimes I feel stressed because almost half of my spending money is already gone just for a rent house. As a student, this situation makes things even harder because other daily needs will become very limited. So, how did I handle this challenge? The first thing I do is to set aside money for rent and bill as soon as I receive my allowance. I also make sure that all the payments are recorded in our housemate group. This system will help to avoid any misunderstanding. From this experience, I have learned two important lessons. The first is discipline in money management. The second lesson is the value of independence. Unlike living like a family, renting house make me more responsibility and managing my own finance.
So, for me, one of the main challenges was that money was often not enough to cover my daily needs and living expenses. Because of that, I learned to manage my spending more carefully. I had to make sure that the essential needs like food, transportation, and bills always come first before anything else. To handle these challenges, I decided to be proactive. I started running small business like selling Vietnam roll, and at the same time, I also worked part-time. It wasn't always easy to balance everything, but it gave me extra income and really helped me cover my daily needs.
One of the biggest challenges I face is having limited allowance. To overcome this, I decided to find a part-time job and also cut down on non-essential spending. From this experience, I have learned three important lessons. First, the importance of prioritizing essentials. Second is practicing financial disciplines. And lastly, planning ahead for future needs.
I would like to share my financial reflection. First, let me start with one of the financial challenges I faced. My laptop broke down in the middle of my assignment. At that time, I didn't have enough money to repair it immediately. To solve the problem, I borrowed a laptop temporarily from a friend and start saving money to fix my own laptop. From this experience, I learned the importance of having an emergency fund.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Wani. One of my biggest financial challenges is, as a student, that I depend too much on PT. So basically, I have to manage my study and living expenses with only this allowance. How did I handle it? I joined a small savings circle, or what we call a group savings camp. Every month, I set aside a fixed amount of money, and when my turn comes, I use the payout to pay my college.
Hi, my name is Nur Afifah. As a student, one of my biggest struggles have been overspending on online shopping. At first, I didn't even notice it because the things I bought always felt small. To handle this, I set a budget just for shopping so I don't spend more than I should. I also unsubscribe from those sales notifications. From this, I realized that online shopping can be really addictive if I don't control myself. But I also learned it's okay to spend on things I want as long as I put my needs first.
For the positive habit, the first one is rent and bill priority. Every month, as soon as I receive my allowance, I immediately set aside money for rent and bills. This is no longer just an emergency step, but a routine habit. The second positive habit is the transparent payment with housemate. All rented and bill transactions are recorded in our housemate group chat. This will make it easier for us to check to avoid any misunderstanding. Next, I will also acknowledge my negative habit. One of them is buying extra groceries. Sometimes when I buy groceries item, I like to add snack or drinks, and this will cause the expenses to increase. Another negative habit is late payment to housemate. This usually happens when my allowance come in late, so I also end up paying my share a little late. To maintain my good habit, I will keep setting aside money for rent and bill as soon as I receive the allowance. And to improve my weak habit, I will make a groceries list before shopping. This will help me avoid buying unnecessary items.
One of the positive financial habits I practice is preparing a monthly budget to manage my expenses. This really helps me stay on track and avoid overspending. I also make it a point to save a little regularly, even if the amount is small, because it builds up over time. And most importantly, I always prioritize essential needs first before spending on other things. One of my negative financial habits is that even when I don't have much money, I still feel the need to help others when they ask for support. Sometimes this means sharing a little of what I had, even if it was difficult for me. I believe in helping, especially my family and my friend, because I know one day I might also need support. To improve and maintain my financial habits, I plan to keep practicing saving and budgeting constantly, even if the amount is small. I will also try to reduce unnecessary spending and remind myself to always think about priorities before making any purchase.
For the positive sides, I practice carefully budgeting by tracking every ringgit I spend to avoid shortage. Another good habit is cooking my own meals, which helps me to save money compared to food delivery. However, I also have some negative habits. Sometimes I skip saving, which affect my budgeting. I also tend to buy things impulsively when my allowance comes in. Another weakness is overspending on online shopping apps, especially when I feel stressed. To improve myself, I plan to use the needs versus wants checklist to control unnecessary spending, and I also aim to build an emergency fund for extra security.
On the positive side, I practice making a monthly budget. I list down all of sources of income and expenses so I can clearly track my money flow. I also allocate money for essential savings and emergency before spending on wants. This habit helped me avoid overspending, give me financial stability each month. However, I also have negative financial habits. For example, I tend to overspend. When I'm stressed, I often order food delivery or buy unnecessary items online. So, to improve and maintain better financial habits, I try to separate savings before spending. I also set a clear financial goal, such as saving for emergency, education, or travel.
For my positive financial habit is that I always compare prices before buying anything, even if it's mean going to several shops. I want to make sure I buy for the cheapest place. For online shopping, I also compare across different platforms until I find the best deal. On the negative side, sometimes I get influenced by FOMO or the fear of missing out. If I see something that looks useful for me in my daily life, I tend to convince myself quickly and just buy it. To improve this, I try to follow 24-hour rule. If I want to buy something, I wait one day before making the decision. If I still feel like I really need it, only then I will buy.
On the positive side, I always try to save a portion of my allowance every month. It might not be a huge amount, but it adds up over time. Another habit I try to stick with is setting a shopping budget. Before I buy anything, I tell myself how much I can actually spend, and that helps me avoid wasting money on things that I don't really need. One of my bad habits is impulse spending. Whenever I feel stressed or when I see a big sale online, it's just so tempting to just click add to cart. So, to improve, I'm focusing on two things. First, I want to be more disciplined with my shopping budget. Even when there are sales or I'm feeling down, I plan to start tracking my expenses using finance apps, because when I can actually see where my money goes, it will be easier to cut down on unnecessary spending.
The first meaning of a rich life to me is having a balance between career and volunteering. I hope to work in a permanent career field while still having enough time and financial stability to be active in volunteer program. Next is life is the ability to provide for my family. I believe that living a rich life is when I can provide whatever my family needs without worrying about whether I have enough money or not. Next, about what I want to afford in my ideal life. The first one is a continuous education fund. I want to set aside money for my future study without relying fully on a scholarship or loans. The second one is a healthy lifestyle, having the ability to maintain a good health and regular exercise routine, proper nutrition and medical checkups.
For me, a rich life doesn't just mean having a lot of money. It means no longer being burdened by financial stress and being able to live with peace of mind. A rich life also means enjoying a meaningful life, having time for family, friends, and personal growth. In my ideal life, I want to be able to afford stable income that allow me to plan for the future with confidence. I also want the opportunity to travel and explore the world. Most importantly, I have to be in position where I can help my family without worrying about the financial burden.
For me, living a rich life doesn't only mean having a lot of money. It means having a financial freedom where I don't have to constantly worry if my money will run out. A rich life also means being able to support my loved ones without financial stress. In my ideal life, I want to afford a comfortable lifestyles, like owning a house, a car, and having stable saving. I also want to invest in my health and wellness.
Looking forward, I imagining designing my rich life. For me, this means living without a constant financial worries, being able to maintain a good health, and having time and resources to spend with my family and friends. In my ideal life, I want to afford enough saving for emergency and retirement, opportunities to travel at least once a year, and a reliable car to make a daily life easier.
For me, a rich life is not only about having money, it is about having strong family, living peacefully and being financially secure without constant stress. My dream rich life is to own a comfortable house and, more importantly, to support my parents and make them happy. I also want to have stable saving, be debt-free, and occasionally travel with my family to create memories together.
For me, living a rich life isn't just about having a lot of money, it's about being able to support my parents with love and gratitude, while also enjoying my own hobbies and passions. A rich life means living with a contentment, being able to spend without guilt, and save without fear, remembering that health, happiness, and freedom matter more than money alone. So in my ideal life, I would want to afford things that brings a real value. First, a comfortable home, not just for myself, but also for my family too. Second, I want to invest in travel experience, whether it's local trips or an international ones. I also want to explore new cultures, learn from different perspectives, and also create memories that last a lifetime.
For my financial vision, in the next 5 years, my vision is to complete my degree and secure a permanent job with a stable income. I also want to start paying off my PTPTN loan if I don't get a first class and build my saving. To achieve this, I will practice a strict budgeting, set aside money for PTPTN every month and take aside income opportunities. In the next 10 years, I hope to pursue my PhD, own my first house and begin investing in ASB. At this stage also, I want to bring my family to perform Umrah. I also plan to save 500 to 800 monthly to apply for PhD sponsorship and grow my investment. In the next 20 years, my vision is to give my parents a comfortable life, to support their life needs and then spend quality time to a family holiday in retirement and investment fund by age 45. I will achieve this by contributing to the EPF, diversifying investment and setting a family care fund and avoiding unnecessary debt.
In the next 5 years, I see myself being financially stable, able to support my family without stress, and hopefully able to buy a car. Looking further ahead, in 10 years, I want to buy my own home, have solid savings, secure a good life for my family and children, and also fully repay my PTPTN loan and car loan. And in 20 years, my dream is to achieve complete financial freedom, enjoy a comfortable retirement, and be in a position where I can help my family and others.
In my 5 years, my vision is to graduate, get a stable job, settle my PTPTN debt, and start saving for the future. And the steps are simple. Start saving consistently and building budgeting discipline even with a small amount. In 10 years, I want to be able to buy a car and a house, pursue a PhD if possible, and build a travel fund. To achieve this, I plan to save while working, apply for PhD sponsorship, and prepare for marriage. In my 20 years, my vision is to give comfort to my parents, achieve financial independence, and prepare an education fund for my future children. The steps include contributing to EPF, building an emergency fund, and family care fund, and avoiding unnecessary debt.
In 5 years, I want to repay part of my student loan and save at least 20,000 ringgit. In 10 years, I plan to buy my first house, be financially stable and have a consistent investment. In 20 years, I hope to be financially free with multiple income sources, no major debts and a solid retirement plan. To achieve all this, I plan to work full-time and maintain a strict budget. I will also improve my career skills, prepare for a housing loan and invest regularly in unit trusts or ASB.
In 5 years, I hope to secure a permanent job with the salary that I am aiming for. With that, I want to be financially stable enough to support my parents. 10 years, I hope to bring my family to Umrah using my own money and also own the house that I have always dreamed of. To achieve this, I plan to increase my saving, invest in unit trust or ASB. In 20 years, I hope to already be debt-free, having fully paid off my PTPTN, car loan and possibly even a house so that I can prepare for my retirement and live it peacefully.
In the next 5 years, my short-term goal is to graduate successfully, secure a stable job, and start supporting my parents while building a strong financial foundation. My steps are pretty simple: to create a budget, track my spending. Looking forward 10 years ahead, I can see myself owning a reliable car, growing my investment portfolio, and also upgrading my lifestyle with more independence. To reach that, I'll need to increase my monthly investment contributions, avoid lifestyle inflation, and also find extra income. So in 20 years, my long-term vision is to achieve financial independence. The plan is to keep investing consistently across different vehicles like real estate, unit trust, and also stock. So in conclusion, as a group, we all learned that designing our rich life looks different for each of us. Together, we believe that by supporting one another and staying consistent, we can all achieve our own version of rich and meaningful life. That's all from us. Thank you.